The film opens on a subway car from a first-person perspective. A man is on his phone listening to music while scrolling through social media. Turning to his left, he removes one of his AirPods, realizing there is a crying baby with its mother trying to calm it. A nearby businessman begins to scream in anger and berates the mother for the crying child. The mother apologizes for disturbing him, but he continues to blame her. Yet, no one bothers to stand up to the man and defend the mother, as they hardly pay attention to the matter. The man, too, puts his music back on and turns around, not wanting to get involved. Suddenly, he gets a call from his ex-girlfriend, but the man declines the call and gets off the train. As he goes up the stairs, she calls again. The man answers. The woman tells him she is at the hospital and has learned that she is pregnant with his baby. The man begins to breathe heavy at the news, unsure about the reality of being a father. The man begins to panic, having an asthma attack, causing him to drop his phone, which causes him to miss half of the conversation. As he picks up his phone, climbing a set of stairs, the signal begins to break up, and he can no longer hear the woman or what she has decided to do. Suddenly, everything goes quiet, and the once busy station is now empty. He takes off his earpods as a businessman holding a briefcase in one hand and a phone in the other walks by. The man continues to walk, passing 7 advertisement pictures on the wall, 3 doors, 2 vents, a fire hydrant, and a sign that points to exit 8. He continues and now passes a locker and a photo booth. But as soon as he takes a turn, he ends up at the beginning with the advertisement pictures and the exit 8 sign exactly the same. The businessman then walks by again, at the same speed and motion as the last time. Still, the man didn't think much of this and continued to walk, thinking he had taken a wrong turn, but he again, for the 3rd time, passed the same things and ended up at the exact same hallway. The perspective then changes to 3rd person as he is now starting to get confused. The lost man. The lost man walks another loop and sees the same walking man. Confusion begins to set in as he continues to walk in circles. Something is deeply wrong, but he doesn't know what. On the next loop, the lost man again passes the same things, but this time, he hears the man stop walking. He slowly turns around to see the walking man eerily smiling at him, startling him. The lost man runs away in confusion as the walking man just stands there, while he continues smiling. The lost man starts to get frustrated when he ends up in the same hallway again, but runs back when he sees the walking man. He becomes even more frustrated when the subway exit guidance sign still points to exit 0, which does not exist. On the next pass-through, he sees the walking man doesn't stop this time. The lost man then tries the doors in the hallway and even the fire hydrant, but they are of no use. The lost man, understandably, begins to panic at his predicament. He then looks at one of the advertisement pictures and sees an ant stuck in an endless loop. Suddenly, blood begins to pour from the ceiling, leading the lost man to run back. He finds the walking man standing while staring at his phone and looking at the beginning of the path. The lost man notices that the subway exit guidance sign has now changed from 0 to 1. He also sees some posted signs with 4 rules for his situation. He must not overlook any anomalies. He must traverse the path in successive loops. If he finds anything strange, an anomaly, he must turn back immediately or risk starting over. If he finds nothing, he should proceed until he gets to exit 8. The lost man starts again. Seeing the walking man, he tries to talk to him, but gets no response. The lost man checks for any anomalies, but fails to see that the fluorescent lights above him are in random spots on the ceiling and walks through, resetting the path to 0. Having an asthma attack, he uses his inhaler. On his next pass-through, he tries to take pictures of everything noticeable on his phone so he can compare them next time. Getting to exit 1, he is shocked to see that the photos on his phone are ruined and thus are useless to help him. If he wants to escape, he has to pay attention to everything. The walking man stops and looks at him while eerily smiling. The lost man quickly realizes it is an anomaly and starts to walk back, but he turns to see that the walking man has gotten closer to him. This startles him enough to run back in terror, making it to exit 2. Going through the hallway again, he seemingly sees nothing, only to hear a crying baby coming from inside the lockers. He tries to investigate, but gets startled when the screams multiply. Realizing this is another anomaly, he turns back, making it to exit 3. On this attempt, he almost walks through without spotting any anomaly, but he realizes that the posters that have eyes are following him as he moves, making him quickly turn back. He makes it to exit 4 and continues, carefully checking every detail one by one until he makes it to exit 5. Everything goes smoothly like the last time until his phone starts ringing. It is his ex-girlfriend, and he hesitates to answer for a moment, but finally gives in and answers. She tells him she is still at the hospital and cannot decide what to do. The lost man says he is stuck in the tunnels and going in circles. The woman says he was always bad with directions and asks what they should do about her pregnancy. The lost man relates to her the story about the lady on the train with the child and how she was screamed at. Yet, no one stood up to defend her, and he admits his own cowardice in not doing anything. It has opened up his fears of being a father. How can he be one if he wouldn't defend a woman being mistreated like that? Still, he tells the woman he wants to be there. As he goes to move on, the woman appears behind him, but he doesn't notice her. The phone call was an anomaly, and he unknowingly reset his progress back to 0. Starting over, the man walks into a hallway where the lights are all yellow now, obviously an anomaly. Even in the face of an easy answer, the lost man throws his backpack to the ground in frustration and vomits. He then starts to have another asthma attack, but manages to use his inhaler in time. Leaving his stuff behind, he walks back in defeat, getting to exit 1 again. Turning the next corner, he sees a small boy standing in the middle of the hallway, and thinking he is another anomaly, he turns around, only to be back at 0. The boy follows him, and the lost man notices the boy has a gash on his face and asks him if he is alone or with someone. The boy only responds by running away and pointing at the walking man. We then change perspective to the walking man, who had previously been trying to escape with the boy. We see the two had gotten all the way to exit 4. Going down the hallway, the constant solitary walking person is revealed to be a high school girl. The walking man checks everything carefully for any anomaly and even asks the boy if he has seen anything unusual, to which the boy does not say anything. Nonetheless, the two manage to make it to exit 5, and the walking man gets happy by how close they are to escape. This time, however, the high school girl stops and talks to them, asking if they are lost and if she can walk with them, to which the walking man says yes. The high school girl asks if he thinks the tunnel they are in is hell or purgatory, and that they are being punished for what they did when they were alive. She asks him if he is feeling guilty about something. The walking man gets confused, but she brushes it off, saying it was a joke. She mentions seeing an older man walking over and over, saying she didn't see him this time, and suspects it might be an anomaly. The high school girl then asks the walking man if he actually wants to get out of the tunnels to only go back to his boring life, doing the same thing over and over again every day. She says that he will be happy if he stays with her, but she starts to repeat the statement several times before completely freezing. Suddenly, her voice starts to slowly alter demonically to his own voice, startling him. The walking man realizes she is an anomaly and immediately turns around with the boy and gets to exit 6. However, the encounter with the high school girl has rattled him, and in the next pass through, he gets sloppy and impatient. The boy notices something, but because he is seemingly mute, the walking man doesn't understand and pulls him forward, not realizing the boy saw a door with a handle in the center, an obvious anomaly. The walking man is stunned when he turns the corner, seeing the progress reset to 0. Breaking down sobbing, the walking man throws his briefcase down and pulls the posters of the rules off the wall in anger, no longer wanting to be tormented. The walking man screams, mentioning that he was in a hurry to meet his son. He goes to the boy and apologizes for his outburst and steels himself to try again. When they turn the corner, the walking man cannot believe he sees stairs to the street. He races to the stairs with the boy, but the boy is hesitant because he knows it is a false exit. The walking man is so desperate to leave that he tries to drag the child with him, causing him to fall and get a gash on his face. The walking man goes up the stairs, but in consequence, has now become the lifeless automaton that the lost man sees in his loops. The boy runs back, getting to exit 1 and meeting the lost man. Starting over, the lost man initially thinks something is different with one of the advertisement posters and thinks it is an anomaly, but the boy tells him to proceed, getting to exit 1. This time, the lost man checks everything and doesn't seem to find any anomaly, but the boy just stands in front of one of the doors, and the lost man goes over to him to see that one of the door handles is in the center, indicating that it is an anomaly. They turn back, getting to exit 2. On the next loop, however, the lights start flickering before they go out, swallowing them in complete darkness. The lost man quickly grabs his phone to turn on his flashlight. He sees the boy before hearing some kind of animal footsteps all around. He notices that the vents have been opened with blood trails coming out of them. Multiple rats are heard going all around them before the lost man hears some of them from the ceiling. He slowly flashes his light up and is shocked to see large rats with human ears and eyes growing out of them. One of them screams at him, startling him enough to drop his phone. He frantically searches for his phone, but the boy gets it and hands it back to him. They start to run back as numerous monster rats go around, and some of them even fall down from the ceiling. They also seem to imitate baby cries, but the two manage to turn back and find exit 3. They continue, and turning the corner, they see the woman, confusing the lost man. The boy screams that it is his mother and tries to run over to her, but the lost man has to pull him back, saying that the woman is not his mother. The boy passes out, and the lost man turns them back, getting them to exit 4. After the boy wakes up, they rest a bit at the entrance. The lost man asks if the boy got separated from his mother. The boy says he did it on purpose because he wanted her to find him. The lost man says he used to do the same thing when he was a kid and asks him if she is scary, and the boy says only when she is mad. The lost man says all mothers are like that. The lost man asks about his father, and the boy says he never met him. The lost man says his situation was the same, further illustrating his fears. How can he be a dad if he never had one? They continue their journey and go down the hallway. They check everything and almost walk through without finding any anomaly, but the boy notices that exit 8 on the sign is upside down. Turning back, they make it to exit 5. On this go-through, they notice one of the doors opens into a dark void. The lost man looks in and sees himself on the subway car, reliving his personal cowardice. An obvious anomaly. They shut the door and turn back, getting to exit 6. The lost man asks the boy what he would like to do when he gets out of the loop. The boy says eat pizza with extra cheese. The lost man says he doesn't know what he wants to do anymore. The boy then hands him a seashell for good luck. As they walk down the latest loop, they hear a shrilling alarm sound. They look around, not sure what will happen. Suddenly, a wave of nasty brown water crashes down the hallway. The two go to run, but the boy falls. The lost man looks back, indecisive. The water crashes into them. The lost man has a vision of a beach, several years in the future. He is with the woman, and a small child is playing at the ocean. The lost man tells the woman he doesn't know what is right. The woman says no one does, but he will be okay. They look at the child, their son. The woman says the lost man will protect his son, and one day his son will do the same. The child comes closer, and the lost man realizes the boy is his son, several years in the future. The boy gives the lost man a seashell for luck, and the lost man pulls his son into a tight hug. Back in the tunnel, the lost man is able to pull the boy on top of the exit 8 sign and comfort him before he is swept away. Some time passes, and the boy wakes up on the floor of the hallway, surrounded by trash and other debris. He turns back and finds exit 7. He goes through the final loop, finding nothing, and seemingly escapes to exit 8. A moment later, the lost man is shown to have survived, although having to start over. He looks over the hallway before turning the corner. To his surprise, he finds a sign with exit 8 on it and stares going down. Initially thinking it is a trick, he finds the seashell that the boy gave him and realizes it is real. As he goes down the stairs, he understands what he went through and why. The loop was him confronting his fears of fatherhood and what kind of man he had to be. By saving the boy, his future son, he became worthy of a second chance and escape. Going to a vending machine, he buys a bottle of water and quickly downs it. Calling back the woman, who is still at the hospital, he tells her he is on his way. It is clear he means to reconcile with her and start a family, no longer afraid. He gets back on the subway and finds himself in the scenario from the beginning, where he sees the man berate the woman with the crying baby. This time, the lost man does not stand idly by and goes to confront him over his behavior.